Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Nittai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभु जी का आचार्य अष्टोत्रोष्ट श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस ऐसे भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की ISKCON फाउंडर आचार्य जगत गुरु श्री द होल वर्ल्ड ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परमहंस प्रभु जी का आचार्य अष्टोत्रोष्ट श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रील भक्ति सिद्धांत सबसे ठाकुर महाराज प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद के नामाचार्य शिला हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा माधव जी की श्री श्री गौर निताय की सर्व शालिग्राम शिला जी की पंच तत्व की प्रहलाद नरसिंह देव भगवान की वृंद देवी तुलसी महारानी की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की निताय गौर प्रेम आनंदे all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavad sevaya bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki krishnaya vasudevaya devaki nandanaya cha nanda gopakumaraya गोविंदाय नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण। ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम 5th canto chapter number 12 verse number 14। अहं पुरा भरतो नाम राजा विमुक्त दृष्टुत संगबंधा आराधनं भगवत इह मानो मृगो अभवं मृग संगात दार्थ। अहं पुरा भरतो नाम राजा इंग्लिश विमुक्त दृष्टा श्रुत संग बंधा आराधनां भगवत इह मानो मृगो अभवं मृग संगात दार्थ। अहं पुरा भरतो नाम राजा विमुक्त दृष्टुत संग बंधा आराधनां भगवत इह मानो मृगो अभवं मृग संगादार्थ। Mataji's. Thank you. Today the lecture was supposed to be given by His Holiness, but Maharaj in the morning told me that I should give the lecture. I was trying to avoid, but Maharaj told me this is my desire, so I beg His blessings. And I know all of you may be disappointed, but you have to tolerate me. Should I speak in English or Hindi, Maharaj? So you will translate in Hindi? Okay. So those of you, आपको जिनमें हिंदी को अनुवाद चाहिए, वो षडगुण प्रकाश प्रभु हिंदी में अनुवाद कर देंगे. So मैं thank you. Okay. So word by word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Aham, I, Pura, formally, in my previous birth, Bharata Nama Raja, a king named Maharaj Bharat, Vimukta, liberated from Drishtashruta, by experiencing personally through direct association or by getting knowledge from the Vedas. Sangha Bandha, bondage by association. Aradhanam, worship. Bhagavata, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Ihamana, always performing. Mriga Abhavam, I became a deer. Mriga Sangat, because of my intimate association with the deer. Hatartha, having neglected the regulative principles in the discharge of devotional service. In the previous birth, I was known as Maharaj Bharat. I attained perfection by becoming completely detached from material activities. Through direct experience and through indirect experience, I received understanding from the Vedas. I was fully engaged in the service of the Lord, but due to my misfortune, I became very affectionate to a small deer, so much so that I neglected my spiritual duties. Due to my deep affection for the deer, in my next life, I had to accept the body of a deer. The incident herein described is very significant. In a previous verse, it is stated, Vina Mahat Pad Rajobhishekam. One cannot attain perfection without smearing the dust from the lotus feet of an exalted devotee on his head. If one always follows the orders of the spiritual master, there is no question of falling down. As soon as a foolish disciple tries to overtake his spiritual master and becomes ambitious to occupy his post, he immediately falls down. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado, yasya prasadan nagati kutopi. If the spiritual master is considered an ordinary man, the disciple surely loses his chance to advance further. Despite a very rigid life in devotional service, Bharat Maharaj did not consult a spiritual master when he became overly attached to a deer. Consequently, he became strongly attached to the deer, and forgetting his spiritual routine, he fell down. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya-Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Nama Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Hare Krishna. So I'm feeling a bit awkward speaking in front of Maharaj, that too in English, because normal I am also used to speaking in Hindi. You people are also used to seeing me speaking in Hindi. So let's see. Today I'll try to speak in English. So this is very important verse, very important, and Prabhupada is writing the purport. The incident herein described is very significant. You know, Bharat Maharaj, we all know, he was very detached and very, very advanced. He himself is saying, Aham Pura Bharat Bharato Nama Raja. In the previous verses, Jad Bharat is advising, is instructing King Rahugana, and in the previous verses he has refuted various theories which were there in the creation long before also the cause of creation, and established the Supreme Lord is a cause, ultimate cause of everything. And how can we know the Supreme Lord? By serving the great devotees. Bina Pad Rajobhishekam. Without smearing the dust of the lotus feet of the pure devotees over our head, we cannot know the Supreme Lord. Now he is giving his own case study. So Srimad Bhagavatam, we can say, Bhagavatam, like that the Maharaj is also saying, is a book of case studies. Bhagavad-gita is a book of definitions. Now within this book of case studies, Srimad Bhagavatam, the case studies become more clear when we know more case studies. Like Jad Bharat is established the truth that Vina Pad Rajobhishekam, without taking the dust of the lotus feet of an exalted devotee, one cannot progress in spiritual life. Now he is giving his own case study. I was so exalted, I was Vimukta Drishta Shrutta Sangabandha. From my direct experience and from the knowledge of the Vedas, I was completely detached from this material world. At a very young age, he gave up his kingdom, his beautiful wife. He went to the forest performing rigid austerities. And all of a sudden, he became attached to a small deer. Very surprising. Very surprising. Normally one becomes, attached to a woman or wealth. These are the well-known causes for us fall down of a spiritualist. But Bharat Maharaj became attracted to a small deer. Because of his Kshatriya spirit, he wanted to give that protection to that helpless deer, small baby deer. And he became overly attached and he willfully neglected his sadhana, and then the next birth he became a deer. And then he has to wait for one more birth, and then he took birth in the family of a Brahmins, and then he thought, no more chances, I'll play very, very safe. So he acted like a deaf and a dumb man, completely foolish man, so that the material world should reject him and he could completely focus on the spiritual life. Now, this is not actually a fall down of Bharat Maharaj. Vishwanath Thakur says, a sadhak can face difficulties on his spiritual path because of two reasons. One is offenses, and second is the will of the Lord. So this is the will of the Lord. Okay, Bharat Maharaj is not like a struggling sadhak. He was well established at the stage of bhav. So just to teach us that how careful we should be in our spiritual life, this case study is there. And as because of the will of the Lord, he became attached to the deer. But this story gives us very beautiful lessons, very instructive lessons for all of us. So there are three kinds of fall downs. Apart from this, Bharat Maharaj is the will of the Lord. Other than that, there are three kinds of fall down. Like one can fall down from a high-rise building, one can fall down from a first floor, or one can fall down just walking on the street. Similarly, in our spiritual life, there can be three types of fall down: gross, subtle, and subtlest. Gross fall down, that means we may start breaking some regulative principles. And gross fall down may be known to the entire world also, and known to me also. Okay, this person has fallen down, it's known. And I also know I could not follow my principles properly. Then there is a subtle fall down. Subtle fall down, the world may not know, but I know within myself the state of my mind, the kind of enjoying spirit I have, the kind of chanting I do. Sometimes I neglect to study Prabhupada books for many days. Apparently, other people may be thinking he's a very nice sadhak, everything is going very nicely. But internally, I know my state of consciousness. I know I'm not following my spiritual master's orders very strictly. So that is subtle fall down. Okay. Despite knowing the things, these are not favorable for my devotional service, I keep on doing them. Subtle things. Not gross, subtle. Okay, this is a subtle fall down. But more dangerous than this subtle fall down is subtlest fall down. And the subtlest fall down, people may not know. And the strange thing is, I also may not know that I am falling down. And that happens when a sadhak starts feeling that he is better than his spiritual master or his senior mentors. Very dangerous. Especially in this age of social media. Very, very easy to get bewildered. I am doing so nicely. I have so many followers. The likings on my video are much more than my spiritual master. I have a following of lakhs and lakhs of people. And my senior devotees and others, my spiritual master, they don't have so much of following. So these subtle things may creep in. And I may think that I am better than my guru or senior mentors. And Prabhupada is writing, as soon as a disciple feels that a foolish disciple tries to overtake his spiritual master and becomes ambitious to occupy his post, he immediately falls down. Very dangerous. Okay. So one has to be very, very careful. Devotional service is double-edged sword. One has to be very, very careful. Shuras siddhara nishito duhagyam. Anytime we can hurt ourselves. So one has to be very, very careful. This case study is showing us. Now, it's very, very important to always remember the exalted position of the spiritual master. Very, very important. Okay. It is said in Adi Lila, first chapter, Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami is saying, Guru Krishna Rupa Hai Shastra Pramane Guru Rupa Krishna Kripa Karena Bhakta Gane. According to the deliberate opinion of all the revealed scriptures, the spiritual master is non-different from Krishna. Guru Rupe Krishna Kripa Karena Bhakta Gane. Lord Krishna in the form of the spiritual master delivers his devotees. When Lord Krishna thinks of delivering a conditioned soul, he takes the form of a spiritual master. So the spiritual master is the direct manifestation of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is writing in the purport, more a disciple is convinced of this fact that my spiritual master is direct manifestation of Krishna, more he advances in spiritual life. So we should be convinced that my spiritual master, we are so fortunate to be connected in this bona fide Gaudiya Vaishnava Parampara, and if I am taking initiation from a bona fide spiritual master, he is a direct manifestation of Krishna. More a disciple is convinced of this fact, more he progresses in spiritual life. And if the other way around, if a disciple starts thinking his spiritual master like an ordinary man, his fall down starts. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj says, the beginning of inauspiciousness in devotional service is that when a disciple thinks his spiritual master is an ordinary person. It is the beginning of inauspiciousness. Although the symptom of a pure devotional service is Shubha, it brings auspiciousness. But when a disciple starts thinking his spiritual master to be an ordinary man, it starts bringing inauspiciousness. It's very dangerous. Okay, so Lord Krishna also, when he is speaking to Uddhava, in Uddhav Gita he says, Acharya mam vijaniyam na manyat karichit na martya buddhi asuyeta sarvadeva maya guru. Acharya mam vijaniyam. You should know Acharya to be myself. There is no difference between me and a bona fide Acharya. Acharya man vijaniyam na manyat karichit. He should not be considered like an ordinary man. Na martya buddhi asuyet. He should not be looked upon from a materialistic point of view with an envy. No. Sarvadeva Maya Guru. He is the sum total of all demigods. Now we will discuss what are the proper ways of looking at spiritual master and what are the improper ways a disciple may look at the spiritual master, and what are the precautions we can take to avoid this subtlest fall down. And the subtlest fall down may very soon manifest in the gross fall down also. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav Ji Ki Jai. Okay. Now, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. Apne Acharya Prabhu Jivira Sikhai, and he takes initiation from Ishwar Puri Path. And when he comes back to meet Ishwar Puri, he says that when he was having dialogue with Prakashanand Saraswati in Varanasi, so Prakashanand Saraswati, the head of all Mayavadi sannyasis, asked him, you are a sannyasi in our parampara, why do you chant and dance like a sentimental person? You should study Vedanta. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, my spiritual master told me that you are a fool. Murkh janiya Guru Shasana Kariya. He told me you are like a fool. You won't be able to understand Vedanta. You should just chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, Srila Prabhupada is writing there, a disciple should always consider himself a fool in front of the spiritual master. This is top class intelligence. One who is really intelligent will consider himself a top class fool in front of a spiritual master. And one who is a top class fool, he will consider himself more intelligent than the spiritual master. So this is real intelligence, that I should consider myself like a fool. I should not be a fool, but I should consider myself as a fool in front of the spiritual master. This is intelligence. Why it is intelligence? Because by the mercy of the spiritual master only, I can get Krishna. Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasado. So it is intelligence. Yes, everything is coming from him only. I am getting his uchishta, I am getting his prasad. Nothing. It's not my right.
It's only by His causeless mercy I am here. I came to know about Krishna, I came to know about devotional service, I came to know about the chanting of the holy name, only by His mercy. And by some arrangements, by His causeless mercy, I got to know, maybe I got to know more verses than him. Maybe in my presentation I be more charismatic, but by realizations, my spiritual master is far, far, far ahead. Okay, so a disciple should always consider himself fool in front of the spiritual master. Now, what are the improper ways? Seeing from a material point of view. Once he was a very big scholar. He heard that Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur Maharaj is a walking encyclopedia. So this young boy thought I should go to the mutt and take his shelter. So he joined the mutt. He was from a very rich family, very scholarly. Then he saw Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur Maharaj getting involved in the petty financial matters of the mutt. He says, how can a spiritual master be like this? Like an ordinary person dealing with rupees and everything in the financial matters of the mutt. He left the mutt and he went and joined with Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj. Yes, he is a Babaji, so he is a saintly person. Let me serve him. And he was so proud that once Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur Maharaj came to meet his Guru Maharaj, Gaur Das Babaji Maharaj, he did not allow him to meet. He considered Bhakti Siddhanta Sri Thakur Maharaj like an ordinary person. And later on, this boy became a big sense enjoyer, got involved with women and fell down. So one should not look upon the spiritual master from a worldly point of view. In the beginning days of my spiritual life, when I used to meet His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, so I was working in an oil industry. So Maharaj always used to talk to me regarding the petroleum products, crude oil and all details. So I used to get worried, why such a saintly person is talking. He used to ask me such questions which I even used to don't used to know. So I used to get surprised. Maharaj should talk to me regarding Bhagavad-gita, Bhagavatam. Why is he talking like this? And later I came to realize that he is trying to make me, in a comfortable position so that then I can relate with him. So sometimes we may view such exalted personalities from a materialistic point of view. It's very dangerous. In Nectar of Instruction also, Rupa Goswami warns us. We should not look at those pure devotees from external point of view. Tragedy is a neophyte does not know how to look at what to look for in the devotees. A neophyte may get attracted by externals, how he sings, how he looks, how he dresses up. But what should we look for his devotional service, his surrender to Srila Prabhupada, his dedication to the mission? These all qualities we should look for. Okay. Then second thing, what can really spoil our vision is our envy or pride. Okay. Like we see in Chaitanya-Charitamrta Antya Leela, Vallabhacharya. Vallabhacharya had very good relations with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu met him in Prayag, and Vallabhacharya invited him for having prasad also. Later on, Vallabhacharya came to Jagannath Puri and he went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he said, I want to recite Bhagavatam commentary to you. And Mahaprabhu could see the pride in him. And Vallabhacharya was thinking that his commentary is better than the original commentary given by Sridhar Swami. So Mahaprabhu totally neglected him. And when Mahaprabhu neglected him, all his associates also neglected him. So he was very surprised. Why Mahaprabhu is behaving like this? He was very my good friend. Why is behaving like this? And Mahaprabhu told him, those who do not accept Swami, I take them as a prostitute. Swami means Sridhar Swami. So then he realized that this is a pride in me, and then he begged forgiveness and invited Mahaprabhu for having prasad. And then Mahaprabhu pardoned him. So there can be a pride in us, or there can be envy also. In Leelamrit, there is one chapter called Dangers Within ISKCON. And around 1970, Srila Prabhupada started observing some very strange incidents. He observed that certain disciples are trying to minimize his position. They are writing on the billboards, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, but they are not mentioning founder Acharya. And on the Rath Yatra card also, there was no Singhasan for him. and his correspondences were being scanned. So when Prabhupada came to know of all this, Prabhupada was very much pained, and he could detect the envy in some of his disciples. But Prabhupada, being a Mahabhagavat, he did what? He promoted them. He gave them sannyas. Okay, and he gave them sannyas and said, okay, maybe with this they will improve. But things become worse. Now they started worshipping Prabhupada as Krishna. They started propagating that Prabhupada is Krishna himself. This Prabhupada could not tolerate. And then he, expelled them from all these devotees from ISKCON. And later on they realized their mistake, they begged forgiveness and they came back. Okay. So because of envy also, they were trying to minimize Srila Prabhupada's position. The third thing can be speculation. Srila Prabhupada is writing, as long as a disciple is following the instructions of spiritual master, he can never fall down. But sometimes, because we are used to speculate, we speculate. Shrutakirti Prabhu was telling that, in the beginning days, when he used to serve Srila Prabhupada was having lunch. So Prabhupada used to have honor, hot chapatis, puffed up hot chapatis. So Shrutakirti Prabhu used to bring hot chapatis from the kitchen, used to enter his room, offer obeisances, deliver that chapati. While going out, again offer obeisances, go to the kitchen, bring new chapati. While entering the room, again offer obeisances, give the chapati. Going out, again offer obeisances to the kitchen, like this. So one Mataji was saying like this, okay, this is very nice way of serving Prabhupada, hot chapatis. And when we are offering Raj Bhog to the Lord, we should do like this, In the Raj Bhog, we stack chapatis, 10-20 chapatis, put it before the Lord. All get cold. So we should serve the Lord also hot chapatis. From the next day, what she started doing was one chapati, enter the altar, offer obeisances, one hot chapati, then going to the kitchen, then hot chapati, offer to the Lord. Prabhupada came to know this. Prabhupada is chastised. Don't speculate. If you want to improve your service to the deities, you ask, you check, but don't speculate. Similarly, in the beginning days, the devotee used to go for book distribution. And they were so passionate, they used to keep on distributing books late in the night. And when they used to come late in the night, after 12, 1 or 2 o'clock, then again they had to get up at 4 o'clock. Say all of them, they had a East Goshti. Why don't we have Mangal Aarti at 2 o'clock itself? We come back around 2 o'clock, have Mangal Aarti from 2 to 4, and then we can have good rest, and then we can start chanting and other things. Everything is very nice. We'll come back 2 o'clock, 2 to 4 Mangal Aarti, and everything is lined up. So they were very happy. Prabhupada came after a few days, So they were very enthusiastic to tell Prabhupada that we have done like this. Now book distribution has also increased and everything is very nice. Our sadhana is also going very nicely. Prabhupada looked at the deities. Prabhupada said, something is wrong. The deities are not looking happy. So, but devotees are very happy, but we are doing very nice. Prabhupada, we are starting a new system. We are doing like this. Prabhupada really chastised. Don't play with it. Whatever instructions I have given you, don't play with these instructions. Okay? Do not speculate. So one should not speculate, and one should always try to follow Guru's instructions. Okay? You see, when we speculate, speculation means, sometimes the speculation may suit us. Temporarily it may give us, some gains. We may feel it very nice. But speculation means endless hope, Speculation means, hopeless end. Because speculation has a limit. Our mind has a limit. So speculation may lead to hopeless end. But if we keep on submitting ourselves, it is endless hope. We may be struggling, but we are submissive. Okay. So the second mistake a disciple can do is, the third mistake is speculation. And fourth is, sometimes a disciple may try to outsmart his guru. Disciple may feel, I am very smart. I can tell some lies to guru. I can manipulate the facts. And we must have seen devotees sometimes in front of their spiritual master. They try to hide their faults and they manipulate the things, manipulate the incidents, manipulate reporting. That's not good. There is nothing called successful cheating in spiritual life. In material world, we may be able to cheat. Material world is world of cheaters and cheated. But in spiritual life, there is nothing called successful cheating. We may feel good for a short while, but ultimately we are cheating ourselves. So one should never do like that. One should never try to do like this. Srila Prabhupada used to have a small white briefcase, and in that briefcase he used to put all important documents, his checkbooks, financial documents, etc. And Srila Prabhupada was very, very careful in looking after this white small briefcase. And some devotees were very, very eager. What is there? And they were very much, attracted by this small white briefcase. And some of them made a plan. We should have this briefcase as a Mahaprasad. So they brought a new big briefcase, very attractive. And say, Prabhupada, we have brought this big briefcase for you. Prabhupada said, oh, very nice, thank you very much. So Prabhupada took this big briefcase, opened it. Then Prabhupada brought his small white briefcase. Devotees were very excited. Now Prabhupada will do what? Took up all the contents of the white briefcase, put it here, and then say, okay, take this white briefcase as a Mahaprasad. But Prabhupada was their guru. What Prabhupada did, he put this white briefcase as it is in the big briefcase and closed it. And then Prabhupada started walking. How I'm looking? Is it white? So everybody said, okay, you are our guru. So one should never try to outsmart. Sometimes the spiritual master, it may seem the spiritual master is consulting his disciple. He may ask, what should I do? Can I do like this? Can I go like this? And a foolish disciple may think, oh, the spiritual master is consulting me. Okay, let me give my advice. So we may give our advice. Okay, if some technical matter is there and we know something, we should certainly exchange that information, but not as a matter of advice. Like once His Holiness Gopal Krishna Swami Maharaj, he was, I think, in Chandigarh or Punjab. So he called me and he wanted to go to Bahadurgarh, which is near Delhi. So he called me. Is there any direct way from Chandigarh to Bahadurgarh? So I, like an expert, I said, no, Maharaj, you have to come to Delhi only. He said, no, you don't know. There's a new highway. There's a new highway. Oh, yes, Maharaj. So sometimes, now we may feel that we can do like this, but we should never try to outsmart. We should never try to lie before the spiritual master. We should be as transparent as possible. Consulting spiritual master means consulting Krishna. That much faith we should have. This is the foundation of our spiritual life. Okay, this is the foundation. So we should not try to outsmart them. Okay, so there are 4 different kinds of improper ways. One is what was that? First was seeing the spiritual master from external vision, material vision. Second is envy or pride. Third is speculation, and fourth is we try to outsmart. Okay. Now we should try to protect ourselves from all these tendencies, and only then we can protect ourselves from this subtlest fall down, which is very, very dangerous. That I may feel that I am getting better than my spiritual master. Prabhupada says one should not try to overtake his spiritual master. Trying to overtake his spiritual master means neglecting his orders and considering our mind as guru. Very easy to take my mind as a guru. These days our Google path is Shiksha Guru and mind is our Diksha Guru. Sometimes we are giving voice to the class to the boys. Immediately the boys are checking on the Google whether what I am speaking is right or wrong. So Google is more reliable. So Google is my Shiksha Guru and the mind is my Diksha Guru. No, we should always keep our spiritual master and we should always go by Guru Sadhu Shastra. So what are certain precautions we can take? Okay. Now this subtlest fall down comes when I think myself I am getting better than my spiritual master. Why it comes? Because I forget the mercy factor. whatever is happening in my spiritual life, whatever so-called achievements I am getting, it is only because of mercy. One should keep on reminding himself, it's all because of mercy. When I forget the mercy, the pride comes. And when the pride comes, fall down. So like once Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj, he was crossing the Ganga and they were on a boat. So one person asked him, he said, you are such a dynamic preacher. You have so many mud, so many disciples, but your spiritual master never preached. So how can we understand? Then Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj took him to the rear side of the boat, and there was an engine which was making lot of noise, and below that engine was a battery. So Bhaktisiddhanta Swami Thakur Maharaj said, are you seeing that battery? Yes. So the engine is making noise, but engine is getting all the power from this battery, which is totally silent. So my spiritual master is like this battery, the powerhouse, and I am like this engine making lot of sound. So it seems that I am preaching, but actual all the strength I am getting is from power I am getting is from my spiritual master. He is the battery. So one should always have this kind of sentiments. Okay, I have maybe made an instrument. Srila Prabhupada never took the credit. He says, my only credit is that I had full faith in the words of my spiritual master. In fact, he gave all the credit to his spiritual master and to his disciples. He said, I could not fulfill the orders of my spiritual master for 40 years. And when he saw that I am getting old, he sent all of you young people. So that's why his mission is getting completed. So we should always consider ourselves as a postman delivering the message. Success may come. All the success, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. We should literally mean it. All glories, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. Nothing for me. We may say, okay, let me keep something for myself. I have also worked very hard. No, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Once His Holiness Sachidananda Swami Maharaj came to our temple, and Maharaj is very kind upon me especially, and he shows lot of affection and love for me, and so he was just glorifying me, and I was getting red, I was getting very embarrassed. No Maharaj. So then we were sitting in a room alone, and I was acting like this. Maharaj said, I am glorifying you, but you should not take it as a truth. He says, glorification for you is like a poison, and you are not like Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva could put the poison in his throat, but if you digest that glorification, so you will be destroyed. So whatever I am glorifying you, don't take it beyond your throat, just take it out or pass it on to your spiritual master. If you take it on yourself, you are finished. Okay, so that how we should never forget the mercy factor. Otherwise, punha mushtik bhava. Once I was discussing with His Grace Amog Leela Prabhu. Amog Leela Prabhu is a superstar on the YouTube. So I asked him, you have so much of following. Wherever you go, people get crazy. Like a superstar. So how do you maintain yourself? And he said, I know whatever I am, it's all because of the mercy of my spiritual master and my mentors. And he literally means it. He said, yes, I give all credit to my mentors and to my spiritual master. And that's why he keeps his. One should remain deeply rooted on the ground level. Otherwise, Maya can just blow us away. So we should never forget the mercy factor. Second is strong sadhana. Bharat Maharaj got attracted to a deer, and he willfully neglected his sadhana. Sadhana is a barometer of our spiritual life. Similarly, at the same time, sadhana affects our spiritual life. If you are having bad sadhana, that means something wrong is going on, and it will make the matter worse. So it's our barometer. So there was no one to check Bharat Maharaj. He was all alone. So we should perform sadhana in the association of devotees. That way, that's how we remain under check. And the third thing is, we should never hesitate to take consultation. Srila Prabhupada writes, Bharat Maharaj did not consult his spiritual master. Okay. So it's a sign of humility to seek help, to seek assistance. If we are going through some difficulties, we should not hesitate to seek help from others. At the same time, when some devotees give us feedback, we should not, desist feedback. We should be very happily taking feedbacks, because that will keep us secure and safe. We are in the association of devotees, but we can take best advantage of association of devotees if you are ready to take help and ready to take feedbacks. If you are not ready to take help and not ready to take feedbacks, we are not taking the full advantage of association of devotees. In the first canto, Srimad Bhagavatam, 19th chapter, when Parikshit Maharaj, after coming to know that he has been cursed by Shringi, he decides to give up his kingdom and go to the bank of Ganges and give up his life. He has already decided it. When all the sages all over the universe heard this, they came there to see this incident, wonderful event. So Parikshit Maharaj again asked them, I have planned like this, And Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, very nice line, any important decision, however firmly fixed, should be confirmed by some authority that makes the matter perfect. Very important. Any important decision, however firmly fixed. Parikshit Maharaj had already taken this decision, but still it should be confirmed by some authority. It's always safe. Otherwise, we may be following our mind. We may be cheated by our mind. We should always confirm, and this is a sign of humility. We should not hesitate to ask. We should confirm from the authority. Prabhupada writes, that makes the matter perfect. Then we are safe. Okay. So these are the few points we could discuss. Bharat Maharaj is telling Rahugana, in the previous life I was King Bharat. I was almost renounced from the material world, but I got attached to a deer and neglected my sadhana. So Srila Prabhupada is telling us, is a very significant point, because Bharat Maharaj did not consult his spiritual master, and as soon as we forget to follow the instruction of the spiritual master, we fall down. And Prabhupada also wrote that one should not try to overtake his spiritual master. So we discussed about the three kinds of fall down. We also discussed what are the improper ways of looking at the spiritual master, what are the proper ways of dealing with the spiritual master, and what precautions we can take. Hare Krishna. Maharaj, any corrections, comments? Please. Questions?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much. Very nice lecture. Prabhuji, you gave an pastime of that the devotees who came late in the night and wanted to shift Mangal Aarti at 2 a.m. Then Prabhupada said that don't speculate. So this I was also asking that when we do japa before Mangal Aarti, it's good. We can hear more of the rounds. After that, we can do reading as well. But many times we see that we have a practical scenario that we are not able to. We have to sit in the japa time, japa schedule. So it gets confused. So what should be done? We can do early in the morning or in the japa time. Because if we have done our round, then we can use japa time for another thing, hearing lectures.
So you have completed your rounds early, but your seniors say no, you should remain here in the japa time, in the temple hall.
In the base and all.
In the base. You should not go alone, be there in the association of devotees till everyone completes japa. So what you can do is, you can consult your mentor, and while you are in the association of devotees, you have completed your japa, you can read Bhagavatam there only. The point is, if you go alone, so the Maya may trick us. I may feel, okay, let me take little rest, or the other devotees may feel that he is taking rest, so they may be also inspired to go and take rest. So your sadhana should be visible. So you should be visible to every one of them. You complete your rounds, then you read Bhagavatam.
In the association of devotees.
Right. Okay. Yes. Mahajan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. In the previous classes we were discussing it, that while one is under the influence of Rajagun, in spite of having the defects in him, and he will not realize it, and he will not project it, that he needed some consultation. In the effect of Rajagun, he considered himself to be very right at that place. In case, as we have been said, we should consult the spiritual master when we need it. So a person influenced by the Rajagun, he will not feel it to consult anyone. He considers himself to be on the right path.
Yeah.
So what we should do?
You're right, perfectly right. Okay, if I am in the Rajagun, it's very difficult to realize my own mistake. I maybe think I am going perfectly right, whatever decision I am taking is perfect. That's why it is said we should always remain in association of devotees. And we are in the association of devotees. In the association of devotees, we are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, discussing Srimad Bhagavatam. So then we make it some intelligence. If we are all alone, we are not associating, we are not hearing and chanting with them, then it's very difficult to take corrections or give corrections. Right. That's why association of devotees is the most secure place for us.
And second, one question is yours. While Ishwar Puripad, this spiritual master of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why he has said him to fool? Because he already knows it, that he is the supreme personality of the Godhead.
He didn't tell him you are a fool. He didn't say that. Mahaprabhu projected himself like this. Guru Murkha Janya Kariya Shasan. Guru considered me like a fool, and he ruled over me. This he is telling to Prakashanand Saraswati. It's not that Ishwarpur told him you are a fool, but Mahaprabhu is projecting like this to Prakashanand Saraswati, that my spiritual master considered me like a fool, and he told me to chant only Hare Krishna. Isn't it, Maharaj?
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Guruji. तो आप बता रहे थे कि जब you were saying कि as soon as something comes to us, we should all glory to Srila Prabhupada, spontaneous that should come. All glory. Amogla Prabhu को धारण दे रहे थे. So in order to come, that statement has to come to the back of mind. क्या preparation, precautions we have to prepare mind consciousness so that even a small thing comes, I will immediately pass it on to seniors and Prabhupada.
Good question, Prabhu. Well, I was also thinking about this. I think one thing is we should be, when we get aware of the dangers, if you are not acknowledging the mercy, these will be the effects. And one should practice gratitude. I am practicing gratitude, and with gratitude only I will progress in spiritual life. That is the proper way of performing devotional service. So if I forget the mercy factor, very dangerous. It's very dangerous for me. And this is the negative part, and the positive part is more I acknowledge mercy, more I will receive mercy, and more I will progress in spiritual life. And more it will become easy for me to handle difficult situations also. I will take those situations also as a mercy. So importance of gratitude, if I say. Right. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you so much for such enlightening and various aspects you touched. What should be our mood in relation with our seniors and spiritual master. So one thing I want to ask is that many points we have discussed. It is one part is mental adjustment, that seeing the dangers and adjusting our mentality to the right mentality or consciousness. Another thing I find actually realizing the fact that spiritual master is representative of Krishna, and actually acknowledging the mercy and seeing the mercy in our life. So the other things becomes automatic. We are not considering him as an ordinary person. So right now we have to adjust the other things, because we are not actually able to realize or see his real quality. So how to be always in the right mood, we can see the right qualities of the spiritual master, how we can realize those qualities.
How we can realize, how we can always be careful in dealing with him, that he is the direct manifestation of Krishna. By hearing his glories from the Shastric point of view, to knowing the position of spiritual master, and on a practical point of view, hearing the glories of the spiritual master. When we hear his glories, and we know that he is not an ordinary person, and from the Shastras also we come to know that is his real position. So when we chant Guru Gayatri, so Guru Gayatri, the first part is, let us try to understand the position of our spiritual master, how he gives pleasure to Krishna. So when we meditate on this, okay, so it is also recommended in Mana Shiksha, Raghunath Das Goswami, one should develop unprecedented love for his Guru. One should try to, it is a sadhana, we should try to develop. It may not be spontaneous. For some it may be spontaneous, but for some it may not be so spontaneous. So as a part of sadhana, it should be, because otherwise Yasya Prasadat Bhagavad Prasad. The mind may say, no, it's less like us, ordinary person. But we have to overcome our mind.
So as a part of sadhana, if we continue to do, then we'll develop.
Yes. And then you see, Srila Prabhupada in one of the purport is writing, to understand the grace of Krishna, we require grace. And that is his divine grace, the Guru. So we understand, to acknowledge the mercy of Guru also, we need the mercy. So we pray to Krishna, give me mercy so that I can understand the true position of my spiritual master.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna. So there was one disciple who approached Srila Prabhupada, and he was glorifying Srila Prabhupada. But Srila Prabhupada always says it is simply composed of the mercy of his spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada used to say that if there's any credit that you're giving to me, the credit is not for my personal self. The credit is due to the guidance and mercy of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But then the disciple was pushing a little bit more, that we see you as a perfect disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which is true. In other words, if the disciple sees the spiritual master as the perfect disciple of his spiritual master, then he's in a safe position. But then Prabhupada immediately replied, because he used the word perfect. The disciple used the word perfect to Srila Prabhupada. So then the disciple asked Srila Prabhupada, so how can one become a perfect disciple? Just as you are a perfect disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Prabhupada really said it straight. Srila Prabhupada said a perfect disciple is full of imperfections in front of his spiritual master.
Very nice.
A perfect disciple is full of imperfections in front of his spiritual master.
Very nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, Maharaj. I don't know how much justice I could do. I could not prepare, I didn't have much time. So it's all by your mercy. Thank you. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Srila Prabhupada.